19 years ago, Jimmy disappeared. The last phone call he made pinged off the cell phone nearby, right behind the police station. What is that? 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 Bring us into Jimmy and who Jimmy was.
Well, didn't really watch any sports. Just went out back and played with his two girls. They were pretty much everything to him. UPS driver, worked pretty hard.
I only knew him, being his nephew.
Yeah.
I knew him obviously a lot less than my father.
Mm-hmm.
And if you asked me one question to just describe him, I would say like if you say one word that comes to your head when you say Jimmy, I would say father. Like I always thought like he was like such a good dad, and like his kids were like his whole life.
And where did you guys were born and raised here in Philly?
In Ridley Township.
Okay, so this general Philly area.
He actually came over a day before I got lost, and he wanted to tell me something.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really weird, but I didn't think it was weird at the time.
Yeah.
He wanted to tell me something, and I kind of half-assed blew it off. He's never done that.
Yeah.
And then look what happens. And I'm like, balls.
You can't dwell on
No, man, but
I know.
Yeah, I know. It's sticking out.
Yeah.
It sticks out to you.
Sure it does, man.
So-
He had something to tell me.
So.
And he was going to tell me. I was the only one, like they all fought with each other, the three of them. But I didn't fight with any of them.
Yeah. Which is typical, isn't it?
Well,
Yeah.
No, when I say
Always
fight, I
somebody
just
playing
mean,
Switzerland.
they're boys.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
they love.
Yeah.
We all loved each other. But I'm just saying, I guess that's why he felt comfortable coming to tell me something.
Okay.
And the other two, he just didn't feel comfortable.
So bring us into the morning. I believe it was December 4th, 2003, nearly 19 years ago, almost 20 here. And bring us into that morning that happened, or shortly after he came to your house. Like, lead us from there until the time that he disappeared.
He was working overnight, right?
Yeah.
He worked the overnight shift leading into the morning that he disappeared.
Right.
Right.
He would sleep during the day.
Sleep
Right.
during the day.
The girls were at the babysitter.
Okay.
He would pick them up at 4:30.
So we have him working overnight, him sleeping in during the day, which is typical. The daughter's at the babysitter. Wife, was she at work? Was she at home?
Work, yeah.
So she was at work during the day. So what we know is, and correct me if I'm wrong, I just want to throw this out there and let's lay the investigation out. Jimmy woke up, which we now know he worked the night shift, he was asleep. So Jimmy woke up sort of in a panic. Oh my God, I overslept. Let me call the babysitter, let her know I'm on the way, I'm coming to pick them up. Is that correct?
And he's like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like 5 minutes away.
And
Didn't have wallet or anything with him. He had those stupid Eagles.
Yeah. And so
sweatpants.
his cell phone pinged off the nearest tower nearby, which is right there in the area, almost directly in the lot of the police department.
Right.
And he has about 2.5 miles of travel from his house to the babysitter's house, waking up in a rush, realizing he overslept, a lot of adrenaline, called the babysitter, I'll be there in 5 minutes. And that was the last communication whatsoever with Jimmy at all, right?
Correct.
Right.
So we know he did not have financial resources. He left in a rush, left his wallet at home. His intentions, we can hang our hat on it. He just wanted to go pick his daughters up real quick because he had overslept.
That's what it looked like.
Right.
Yep.
The last phone call he did make was verified to the babysitter. No other communication on his cell phone whatsoever.
Yeah.
So how long? How did this unfold from the babysitter getting the call to
Kim saying he's missing.
Kim is the babysitter or wife?
The wife.
Wife. So Kim is missing. So I'm guessing maybe the babysitter called Kim and was like, hey, he said he'd be here.
Right.
And he hasn't been here.
Right.
How much time had elapsed?
I think maybe in one of the previous interviews, Michael said she called him at like 10 o'clock at night, maybe.
Okay, so a few hours had passed.
Okay.
Yeah, which is really strange.
All right. And what time exactly was this phone call made to the babysitter when he says I'm on?
15.
So 5 in the evening, he says I'll be there in 5 minutes.
Hey, I'm just curious because we were looking in research about symptoms of when you go into insulin and your low blood sugar. Did he have a pump that was like every so often it would give him a dose of his insulin? Do we know how long those fills lasted? Was he at the end of his fill? Like,
Couldn't tell you.
No,
I will tell you that he had prior to many times.
but he caught it, and the only thing we asked is because he caught most of. He knew he was going to get that and needed help. And if he woke up late and maybe he was at the end of his insulin and didn't realize it at time,
100%.
and then that's what caused him to go past his normal point of noticing it.
There's basically 3 theories, and you could almost talk yourself into all 3 of them.
Right.
A, that he wanted out and he just left, and he made himself disappear. And you can come up with all kinds of stuff to support that.
Mm-hmm.
B, that he had some sort of medical episode, which he's had in the past.
Mm-hmm.
He had both my dad and his other brother Dominic had to go out to him while he was at work when he hit a low, and
A sugar low.
Yeah. And like he just couldn't move.
Right.
he looked drunk.
Yeah. And researching this prior to you guys getting here and being familiar with, Dominique sharing how you guys have gone out and had to rescue him because his sugar was low. I think there's a possibility, this is just a possibility now, that he verified that he overslept on the phone of the babysitter. Was he already low when he woke up? Didn't realize it? The adrenaline running, because we all know how it is when you wake up and you realize you're late.
Yeah.
That adrenaline is crazy. Not realizing he overslept and is already low on sugar.
My symptoms are coming on now. I'm already low.
Called the babysitter, I'm on my way, and then just gets into a place of confusion and ends up somewhere he shouldn't be here and into water. With that being said, we have a lot of great people here to help. We have Anthony here out of New York. He's a diver as well. We have Wesley and his 2 sons, Austin and Houston. They're great help and volunteers, a great asset to us whenever we're here locally. We have a lot of legway and help in what we're going to be able to do today. And my game plan would be to go back to Jimmy's home where he left that morning, where he said that I had overslept. I'll be there in 5 minutes. We're going to start there and work our way directly to the babysitter's house. I looked on satellite imagery and I see that there are 2 streams. I know that they've been ruled out. They look like you can't even barely fit a bicycle in there.
Yeah, they're not
but for us to be thorough with what we're doing, we have to go there, lay eyes on it, rule it out.
Right.
So both those creeks will be our first 2 stops. My main target and what we were looking at is directly right over here, Stinger's waterfront. For whatever reason, we don't know the why, but that road dead ends directly from the area which he left. Straight shot, boat ramp right into the Darby Creek. That'll be our 3rd location. If we get beyond that and don't find anything, obviously we are going to end up in the Delaware River to clear that as well. So yeah, we're going to corral up.
What do you want us to do? Or?
I need you. I have everything. I just need you to verify. We'll start on the block. We don't even have to get out. We'll start there, and then we'll take the route that we identify right now he would have taken to the babysitter.
Yep.
When we get to where the babysitter's house still is or was,
I know it still is, but
when we get there, we'll then huddle back up and make a game plan to come back down here to Stinger's waterfront and so forth. After we rule each location out, we'll
stop at the creeks before you get to the babysitter's house.
Absolutely.
Okay. And then babysitter's house and then waterfront.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as I was saying earlier, I know 9 times out of 10, you guys have already ruled the creeks out. But for us to do a thorough investigation, we have to put eyes on it. And when we're gonna walk it, we're gonna verify there's no holes that are deeper than other areas, and then we'll move on. When we rule something out, at the end of the day, we need to look you in the eye and say you have nothing to worry about.
Right.
You don't have to worry about these locations.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay. And that's
All
all
right.
about eliminating places.
So let's verify Jimmy's address here with me. All right, so
Yeah,
we're
so
right
that's
there. Yep.
So he would have went up one of these.
So he would have made a left out of his house, and then
well,
up
most likely
Fernwood.
probably would have went up this street here.
And then
Okay.
made a left on the date.
Made a left.
So he would have went up Evergreen,
Yeah.
and then
made a left
made a left right here
on McDade.
on McDade. Where's McDade? It's right here, the main
It's
street.
like one
Yep.
block off.
Yeah, it's a major road.
Okay. And the
literally
babysitter's
used
house
that road until the Boland's Lane,
Right.
until Boland's
Great
Lane.
shot.
which is about 2 miles that way.
Okay. All right.
It would be his house to McDade is from here to that traffic light. You go left, and it's one road, and you make a right, and it's about that far off the road. It's very, very.
Yeah.
There's no real.
Okay.
Yeah, that Stony Creek is literally like a. We're welcome to look at
Yeah,
it, but it's,
I don't foresee each location taking more than like 2 or 3 minutes.
yeah.
And thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Cool. Thank you guys too, man.
Yep. Jimmy was 38 years old when he went missing. He was missing December 4th, 2003. The license plate is going to read FLA 4785, and it is a 2002 Hunter Green Ford Explorer. So hopefully we'll be able to find this Hunter Green Ford Explorer today at one of these locations we plan to search.
Continue on South.
That's the Ridley Township Municipal Building, and the cell tower right behind it is where his cell phone last pinged.
Yeah, you gotta try.
So we are now retracing the way Jimmy would have gone. He would have come down here on one of these neighboring blocks or this very block and made a left down to McDade to get to the babysitter's house.
Correct.
This is where he made his left, and when he got down here, right in this area is where he made the phone call to the babysitter and said, "Hey, I'm going to be there in 5 minutes."
And he pinged off the tower 3 blocks up.
So, did Jimmy wake up already low on sugar? In a panic, the first thing he realizes is, oh my God, what time is it? Oh, I'm late, I overslept.
Kids.
My daughters are at the babysitter, I gotta go get them. That adrenaline, I can tell you from personal experience, anytime I've overslept, it's almost like losing your phone, realizing you've lost your phone.
System.
It is a shock. The adrenaline that's gonna come through you, you're not going, that combined with still being half asleep, you're not gonna realize you're low on sugar. You're not even gonna think about your sugar because your instincts as a dad is, I'm focusing on the kids. He got into his vehicle, made the phone call to the babysitter, and then starts to go into a diabetic event. Gets confused and ends up from here into one of these bodies of water strictly by accident. That's the way I'm really viewing this, is it's an accident. There was a winter storm at the time he disappeared. However, the streets were clear. There was snow on all of the grassy sidewalk areas, but the main streets have been cleared and the roads were fine.
Yep.
Plus he was in a 2002 brand new Ford Explorer.
Great traction, good tires.
That he had just bought. So really good vehicle to be out in really almost any condition.
Can't rule out accidents.
So there's a high likelihood that we're really working with a diabetic event, especially because his brothers has had to go out and rescue him several times themselves. Yep.
Absolutely.
Absolutely not. There's no way you're gonna hide a bicycle in that, let alone a vehicle. It's perfectly clear. It's very shallow on either side. This creek was walked by locals and is walked by locals quite often. There's actually some YouTubers as well who walk this creek and do exploring. So this just physically confirms what we already have known. It's just a process of elimination and doing this as thorough as possible. So we're gonna go, this is Little Crump Creek. Now we're gonna go up to Crump Creek and proceed from there. We're on McDade Avenue. We've ruled Little Crump Creek out. We've been here at Crump Creek, and you can see a driveway sort of comes in here off of McDade, comes right directly into Crump Creek, but Crump Creek is not whatsoever deep enough. We're gonna go over here to where the creek continues
Right here?
underneath McDade,
Right here under the bridge, yeah.
just to place eyes on it to make sure that it is what we've saw in this stretch here, to confirm it's not deep enough to hold a vehicle. Still Confirmed, not deep enough at all.
Yeah.
So they 100%, without a doubt, rules out Little Crumb Creek and Crumb Creek. And if we look on our map, okay, so we're right here, McDade. So if we continue down, the babysitter was right here off of Bullens Lane.
Yes.
Did he continue to go straight? And if so, did he end up in Ridley Creek? So Ridley Creek is going to be our next stop, which Ridley Creek, out of all the bodies of water here, tend to be a little bit bigger than this. So we're on the right path. So we're here at Ridley Creek, directly under McDade Avenue that he would have been traveling down. And at this point, had he gone through Bullens, we're here, completely rules this out. So now our next move is we're gonna go back up to Bullens, and we're going to make the turn that he would have made, that left-hand turn to the babysitters. We know he never arrived at, and would have continued straight down into the river.
Tyler, he works
Tyler,
for
I'm
the
Doug.
Fire department up the road.
Yeah.
He said they just pulled 2 cars out of here this year that went in, and he was telling me there was no gate access. Anybody could just, there was no end of road danger ends. You could have just drove right in.
And that's what we were theorizing, and it looks like that when we get here. It's all brand new.
Yeah, the gate.
It's just a straight shot straight down the road.
Redneck back
You
then.
know,
Yeah.
2003 we're talking.
Yeah.
So.
And we're working with, possible, diabetic coma, confusion. Just got lost, doesn't realize where he's at, just drove right into the river. So let's get the boat in the water and see what we got. Hello?
Hey Doug, this is Wes.
Yes.
The guy said as you're going down through, you're going to hit another marina.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
Once you hit that other marina, it gets very, very shallow to like 4 foot.
Okay. All right.
So if you want to just go a little bit past that marina,
Yep.
do your due diligence,
Yep.
you're good.
All right. Perfect. I will. That's what I plan to do. Cool.
All right. Talk
Yep.
to you later.
Yep. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
One aspect that we're working with on this case when searching a vehicle that's been missing for 20 years, you have to take into consideration that there's going to be possibly a lot of the vehicle that is buried and a lot of deterioration. And we're coming up on this other marina now. Really easy river to read. So if there's anything over here or in here, we're going to find it. A lot of buildup there. It's not a car though. Too shallow right over there. So that's how we know that that's not a car. We did a close run of sonar to the shore. Now what I'm doing is when we're working our way back upstream, I'm now gonna work my way out farther into the middle of this creek, about 75 feet more over. So I'll be overlapping the 75 feet that I was casting into the center of this creek. Gonna give us a better coverage area of what's truly out here. That way we're not missing anything. And we're gonna continue this course of search all the way back up to where we put in. And I'm gonna redo the boat ramp there that I've already done, just to be really thorough. Really consistent, 18 feet out here in the middle. Really shallow river, super easy to scan. A lot of tires, that's pretty much it. A few trees here and there. Nothing out of the ordinary. Yeah, That's these docks over here.
Nadine Moses was hidden by a freighter ship.
I know, I'm not ruling anything out. There's some buildup on those bottom of those pylons right here. Oh, what is that? 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 Wow, that looks like a vehicle, Carson. Watch this as we come back over it. Is it a boat? Looks like the top of a vehicle that's been in there for quite some time. Coming up over, look at it, look at it, look at it, look at it on live scope. What is that? What is that? You're talking about 5 feet deep. See that? See that? What is that? Switch to live scope. We need to be, this is really dull over here. I'm gonna go back over it. Is live scope showing up good on your screen?
No, it is.
We can dive right off the edge of this dock too as well, if we need to. It's coming up right on the edge of this pylon right behind you. You should be entering the screen right now, Carson.
Yeah.
You see that? What is that?
Dude, that. Dude.
Hold on, look at that. Is that a Ford Explorer? That is an SUV. That is 100% an SUV.
Holy smokes. For me, this was the #1 location.
This made the most
Absolutely.
sense.
It's right on the other side of this column.
Dude, we're right over it, bro.
How tall is that? So we're at 25 feet, about 5 feet tall. What in the world is that? Those look like windows, don't they? The front end is silted in. You see the rear wheel well?
Ford Explorer.
We all know what a Ford Explorer looks like.
That's straight up, dude.
There we go. Let me turn more.
Like,
24 feet deep right here.
Yeah, Doug.
Do you see me where I'm at?
What's that?
Do you see me where I'm at right now?
Are you straight out?
I am not. I am just.
Oh, yes, I see where you're at. Yes.
Can you get down here to where I'm at?
No, because it's fenced in.
It is fenced in.
Yes.
Can you get through it?
It's fenced in for the food. What you got?
I have what I believe to be a Ford Explorer. I don't know.
Really?
I don't know for sure.
Well, you know what? We're going to try to get this through there. All right?
Yeah. Speak to somebody in the restaurant. I haven't said anything to the family, and I don't know what this is, but it definitely looks like
Stay here.
it looks like to be a
Come with me.
SUV.
All right, we'll be right there.
All right. You can look at that. Definitely is 14 feet long, 15 feet long. It's an SUV. It looks like the front end is pretty buried in.
It looks like a lot of growth on it too, right?
It's been down there for some time. We're diving 100%. We're gonna dive right here off this pier.
You get a good strong magnet on it, and then I'll go suit up.
Yeah. You go suit up, and what we'll do is
How far off the top?
it's 24 feet down, straight down. It's directly under me.
Okay.
Absolutely directly under me.
All right.
I'm gonna go down and speak to the family just so they're in tune with what we have right here. But I need them just to remain optimistic so that there's a specific way I like to make sure that they're not over hopeful but optimistic.
I just talked to the harbor master. We're good.
Okay.
I'm gonna call her.
How do we get this gate open?
I popped it and pushed the button, but we could just
If one of
bungee it
us
open
stay on
and
this
leave it
side,
open.
we can just hit the green button and go
Or
through.
bungee and leave it open.
Yeah.
The harbor master's on board. She said anything you need. She said.
All right.
Good.
I need to.
Totally understand.
Flip off. All right, time to go suit up. Doug found a target. Looks like an SUV. Directly off the edge of the dock. It looks like it's been there a while based on the radar signature, sonar signature. So we're gonna go suit up and get eyes on this and confirm whether or not this is our target. It looks like it's about 14, 15 feet down, so it shouldn't be too bad of a dive. A little bit of current, incoming tide right now. So we'll see what we get when we put eyes on it. Stay tuned, guys.
What's going on, guys?
How you doing, Dominic?
Dominic.
I'm Doug.
Nice to meet you, Doug.
I'm Anthony.
Anthony, nice to meet you.
I do have what I believe to be an SUV underwater, right there.
Okay.
Yes. Now, I don't know what this is. We don't know what this is. We find vehicles all the time.
Right.
So I just want you to remain hopeful, but very optimistic that this could not be what we're looking for.
Okay.
I'll show you what we found. I have a recording of it. I just want to let you know before we get to going over there, just please remain optimistic.
Sure.
You know, as you know, you've watched us for years. We find vehicles everywhere, all over. So at this point, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go put a marker and a buoy on it. We're gonna put our magnet, monster magnet on it, because there's a little bit of a current here.
Yeah.
We'll get suited up. We'll dive down, identify what it is. If it is obviously what we're looking for, it then becomes a crime scene. We'll notify authorities.
You can't do nothing at that point.
We can, typically, but I know Philadelphia has a great dive squad, water unit, and I'm sure they're gonna wanna come in. It's up against the pillar down there. If it's not what we're looking for, we'll still notify them to let them know how they wanna proceed. If they wanna arrange the next few days to get a record down here or whatever, we'll leave that. But we're gonna proceed with what we do. It's a bunch of formalities. Absolutely, knock on wood.
Okay.
We're gonna get down there, we'll mark it, we'll get it lined up really good and really secure. Do you have your dive stuff with you?
No, I don't.
Okay, all right, because I heard you were a diver.
We just literally got in the plane an hour ago.
Okay,
I wanna
we
take
heard you
down,
were a
so-
diver, and I was like, man, you know, yeah, I really want you in the water. However, you know, we're gonna proceed. We need to make the most out of daylight, because
Right.
this isn't our vehicle. We need to keep
Keep going.
knocking it out up and down the Delaware.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. And that, you guys have any other questions or concerns?
Good or no?
Not today.
Okay.
My stuff for the morning.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Cool.
And no other questions or concerns at this point? All right. Focused on battling this undertow that I already know is really strong. Being safe. Luckily, Anthony and I are in dive suits. We have multiple knives, so an extra added advantage to us in dry suits in a current like this. If something goes wrong, we have air in our dry suit, and the ability to put air in our dry suit immediately that will make us buoyant. And instead of getting sucked in an undertow in a wetsuit and just being stuck on the bottom, potentially hang up on something, we will come right up like a balloon and just float along the top.
Is that hooked to this? Oh, really?
I do believe I'm at the vehicle. I'm at the vehicle. I have a roof rack on top of the vehicle.
Copy the roof rack on top of the vehicle.
Visibility is horrible. Unable to determine the color of the vehicle. Rear window is up.
Copy the port emblem.
We have brought Jimmy's vehicle. I repeat, we have discovered Jimmy's vehicle. Are on the vehicle. Windows are intact.
Copy that. Right through the engine. That's why it hasn't moved. Copy that. Copy that. Seatbelt is on.
two people.
F***ing Jimmy's truck. Yo, Steve. It's Jimmy's.
License plate red FLA 478.
Get the out of here.
The driver's side window is out. Doug, I hear
It's completely sealed in.
on the passenger side, the windows were up. Both
Yes,
sides.
all of the windows up except the driver's side window.
I reached in. The only thing I could feel is the collapsed headliner, of course.
Yeah.
Piling is drilled
through the front engine bay.
the engine
This
bay
vehicle was sitting here
while they put the
this
piling.
in.
So there's the piling is going right through the hood of
Completely
his
through
car.
the engine bay.
It goes piling 8 inches windshield.
Get the
Well, I don't know how we're gonna pull this car out.
You're not gonna.
No,
This.
What
So
do
at
you mean
this
you're
point,
not gonna?
the
At this
car is
point-
facing this way. Passenger side is towards the channel, so the driver's side is this way towards the shore side. I'm gonna pull my gear off, hand it up to somebody. You're out already, Doug?
That snaps right there.
I have it, so. What do you need now?
Good job.
You need this off?
Yes, please.
Sorry, man. I'm so sorry. You're lost.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, you guys never have any issues.
Sorry for your loss.
Steve,
I've never seen anything like that.
Come over here,
How did
please.
you get a pilot for that?
Do we need a lead on me?
it's just. No, we found you. So we need to contact authorities. It's now a crime scene. They're gonna come down. And we're gonna go from there. I did a full assessment of the vehicle as far as so we can put together an accurate plan to recover. But this is gonna be something that we've never done before. They're gonna have to cut this pylon out here.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure. This is a lot more
It's
technical than
complicated now.
anything that we've ever dealt with. So we're probably gonna have to cut the pylon out, move the deck, and then lift the car up off. When they drilled that pylon there, they put it right through the engine bay.
Oh my God!
Yes.
Did you find? Was he in there?
I reached in.
He said
the
it's silted.
headliner, it's silted, but the headliner collapses. It doesn't take long for the headliners to collapse. And that pretty much puts a thick cardboard and carpet blanket over anything that's in the cab.
We're at Stinger's Waterfront.
Okay, really?
Correct.
Okay, what's going on?
My name is Doug Bishop. I'm with a cold case investigation crew that travels the nation. We have discovered the vehicle of an individual who has been missing for 20 years. Underwater.
Okay. Underwater?
Correct.
What were they missing out of?
They were missing right here out of Folsom.
I'm sorry, your phone was cutting out.
They're missing out of Folsom.
Okay.
The name is. My name is Doug Bishop.
Doug Bishop?
Correct.
Okay, is it work vehicle? Who are you with?
I'm with.
Just cutting out in the beginning.
I'm with Adventures with Purpose.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna give her a call. They'll send help out, okay?
Yes.
Alright, bye-bye.
You there?
Yep, I'm here.
We did it, man.
Nice. Congratulations.
Yep. They drilled the pylon right through the front engine bay when they built this dock.
Say that one again. Sorry.
They drilled the pylon straight through the engine bay when they built this dock.
You gotta be kidding me.
No, I'm not.
So the vehicle's stuck there.
It is stuck there. The police are on their way. I'm just.
Windows are up. He's in there.
Driver's side window is down. It's completely silted in. And the seatbelt is in an engaged position.
Wow. You're gonna be there for a couple days.
I'm just really speechless right now, man. I gotta.
Say again.
Just really speechless right now, and I wanted you to know. And love you, man.
All right.
We did it.
All right. Keep me updated. Keep me updated on your next move on what you want to do. All right.
I will.
All right. Cool.
I will be for at least the next 4 or 5 hours in a scenario that we were in, just identical to Carrie Mae Parker.
Diamond water!